Good evening. This is Street Talk, and I'm Father Russ Carmichael. And it's nice to be back with you. Well, obviously, the second show of the new season. Tonight, Dominic Cotton, my co-host, is not with me tonight. He's going to be on and off. And Bonnie Sadowski, or Bonnie Rubenstein used to be, is not here tonight. Our prayers are up for Bonnie. This is a year anniversary. She lost Doc Sadowski, her husband, a year ago tonight. So this is kind of a real tough day for her, and she's been running around and stuff like that. Our prayers are with her, and as most people know, it's about a year and a half we lost Auntie Gail. So, our prayers are with folks who are, tonight and today suffering with loss and pain. That said, Dominic will be back with me next week, and I believe Bonnie's going to be on the show next week herself. I have my guest with me tonight as a good old friend who's going to be with me as soon as I say hello to everybody. I got Michael Linnard back with me. Michael, obviously, for those of you who follow the show and know what we do, Michael is a publisher of the Little Red Tree and does the program with me with Little Red Cell. I do the ministry program with writers from prison and stuff like that. And I want to talk at part of the show about Ralph Ham's book, poetry book that we print that Michael did, and Radical Jesus, my own manifesto that Father Russ is in there, actually. This is, and Dr. John Vincent is my mentor, and every Methodist should have this. Dr. Vincent was president of the UK United Methodist, and he does a lot of work here in the United States as a theologian. Got big programs going on in the United Methodist Church. So all you Methodists out there, make sure you look this up on the site and order them from. You call it Little Red Church, but if you go on Little Red Cell, you can get to Michael and get the book. But we'll talk about that later. I want to say hello to Avner Gregory. Avner's been a loyal watcher lately and knows I'm always in controversy with what's going on in the city. Again, Dominic Cotton and Bonnie, bless you, they're not here. I got a couple of Republicans coming on, but I'll save that for another show. And I got Kathy Johnson, I think will be on. She's running for selectman in Oxford. Serious lady, does a lot of work with the Democratic Party, one of good organizers down there, and does a lot of advocacy for the brain injury stuff that everybody knows we're involved with. But tonight I want to talk about some local stuff. Father has been easy on New London lately and stuff like that. But as we know, we got another big problem, and I just can't understand it. And that's one of the reasons I have Michael on here tonight. We're both residents of New London. How in God's name do these people want to hire somebody for the Department of Education for and this Dr. Carter, who's been in the papers for the last week, and obviously it's a question of ethics. I'm not too upset about his PhD, but apparently he's done a couple of things. He went around posing that he was a doctor before he gained his PhD, okay? And then he's done some other financial stuff that he bankruptcy twice in 15 years, financial problems that the Day published today, was in the Day today. So, I mean, I'm sure they're not going to hire this guy, but they spent like 16 grand for an agency to do a national search. They had the school board involved in this thing, and we end up again with some clown that we haven't vetted. right? A clown that we haven't vetted, costing the city, costing us tons of money. I mean, you're living here, you pay, you take taxes? How does this happen?
Well, a couple of words come to mind, but you have to wonder. I don't know the processes of the education board itself.
Right.
But this is not an insignificant position.
No, it isn't.
I mean, and the salary is reasonable.
It's substantial, absolutely.
So you might think that there would be, a list of candidates.
This was a nationwide search. A nationwide search. You spend $16,000 to a private agency, what was it, McPherson and Jacobson, to do a search for, what does he call him? He's not commissioner, the head of the school. What my wife was like. Father's having a senior moment here.
Principals.
Not the principal, the superintendent. Superintendent of school. Top dog. Okay, superintendent. My wife was a superintendent, my ex-wife. Okay, so, I mean, it's not like, that's a level of educational qualifications that should be easily found out. That should be you go to the school they graduated and you do a background and you get the...
This kind of position
this is
would
big
be,
time.
I would have thought, I don't know the specifications for the job.
Hiring somebody like a CEO.
But you would say minimum an MA, master's degree.
Oh, yeah.
Preferably a PhD.
Yeah.
But basically a master's, you want somebody who knows about schools.
Yeah.
You don't want somebody who's an academic. You want somebody who's hands-on, who knows how to run schools.
An administrator. Yeah, you want an administrator. Now, he's been going around, my understanding is, he was posing as a doctor, like he's already had his PhD. He had a master's. Well, I read some of the stuff and I looked up the transcript and everything else. He was a PhD candidate. I'm a PhD candidate, and I've been one in two areas for several years. But I don't call myself doctor. I don't go around. I wouldn't. I have been called doctors by other people, and I correct them. No, I have to do residency a year, and I haven't got the 30-some-odd grand to go over to England to do my residency and to complete my stuff.
That to me,
you're not a doctor, and you don't make house calls.
That to me is unethical.
That's what I'm saying.
Without actually saying a word.
Right.
That's just unethical.
It's unethical. Yeah, you don't do that.
For somebody who is supposed to be in education.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Going to run a school for our kids.
Yeah. He's. But then again, I don't know whether it's about. Personal ego. I don't know whether it's about, being overzealous in trying to promote yourself, because when you're out there at that level, you're competing with a lot of very, very good people.
Well, understandably. I looked at his record, and I saw that, okay, so you can go to a conference. Theological conferences, I do lectures I've done around the country, all over the place, okay? I could see him going to a lecture and somebody writing down that he was a doctor. Well, if they do that, I've had that done, and I've had to go up and say no.
Yeah, you correct it.
Yeah, correct it. I'm not a doctor. I'm not there yet. You could say I'm and at the time I was PhD candidate, and I still am for Sheffield, urban theology. Yeah. So I said. Yeah, so you correct it. You go and say, no, get that off. You don't even put it on the badge they give you or anything else. That is the ethical thing to do. It's a lot of, in reality, to get your PhD is a lot of work, a lot of school, depending on what your PhD, that's PhD. We're not talking medical doctor here. That's a whole different thing about people who...
I know...
My God, I already got a phone call. Man, that's fast. Good evening. You're on the show with Mike and Russ.
Hi, Father Russ. I wanted to make a comment regarding the search company.
Right.
that I worked for many years for Johnson & Johnson in New Brunswick. We used to use search companies all the time.
Right.
And, we should not be paying them. They did not vet this person.
No, they couldn't have, right?
No,
No.
no, they did not. We should not be paying them.
Exactly.
I don't want, I did watch a Board of Education meeting right after they finished doing this, that they finished meeting and looking at the different candidates and narrowing it down. And every single one of those board members, they said they attended every single meeting.
Yeah.
Everyone got along. It was very well done. They looked at every single candidate, what they had in front of them. And, you got to use a more reputable agency, or this agency just cannot be paid. If they'd be paid, I would sue them to get the money back.
I would hope so if they were. I mean, they didn't do the job. $16,000. That's a lot of money.
But then, it's more than that.
Oh, it is?
It's more than that. Because you have to fly that man in here. No. I was headhunted myself, John. They have to pay for you to be brought here from Chicago and put in a hotel. You're talking about another $1,000 or $2,000 for each interview.
Oh, yeah,
So we're talking more money.
So it's more money than, yeah, okay.
And I think it's more than $16,000 because
Okay.
they not only get a fee to find a person,
Right.
and they also get like a year's salary or they get something. They get more than that, depending on what the
outrageous.
agreement is with whoever they're doing this for. So
Yeah,
it's a lot of money.
I know it. I remember when
I think that the Board of Education did everything that they were supposed to do.
our people, I'm sure they got embarrassed and they got jammed up. I mean, I could imagine poor Peg Curtin waking up and finding out about this guy's background from the
I'm sure they
paper.
were very upset. If you saw this.
I know.
Meetings, they were so proud of themselves. They said, no one can say this board is dysfunctional. Look how we all got along. No one missed one meeting to look at the candidates. Everyone, had good comments. And so don't blame them. I think they're doing such a good job now.
Oh, I'm not blaming them. My question is, how does it happen? How do you hire a firm like that does that? What was our state?
Who picked the firm? You see,
Yeah.
a lot of people pick the cheap firm.
Right.
Okay, a lot of people will pick the one that, we just want
This
to
is
get
terrible.
your salary.
Yeah.
You've got to pick a firm that's successful in placing superintendents, okay?
Right.
Who have, academic plus, on the job, that were teachers. What you really want to do is you want to rob a superintendent.
Exactly.
You want to steal a really good superintendent from another system. That's what you want to do.
Exactly.
And probably from another state, hopefully.
Yeah.
But someplace close by.
You hope
You're
so.
familiar with Connecticut.
Yeah, we got good schools here. We got Yale here, right?
Steal another person who's already in that job,
Right.
doing that job right now. He wasn't doing that job.
No.
Okay, so, but I think he had done it at one time.
Right.
That's all I have to say. If I really want to say very good things about the Board of Education, I think Dr. Adamowski is doing a fabulous job.
Very
Thank you,
good.
guys.
Very good. Thank you, and bless you for watching and calling. Thank you very much. And it's true. I mean, you can only deal with the information given to you if you hired somebody to go out there and vet and do that. And you're thinking, wow, and yet a newspaper only took a very short time, the Current, I believe it was, to track him down, look him up, and get his background. It really aggravates me. It's the state aggravates me. It's more not our local. I know our locals have done really, really good. And I'd have to say that, and it's not because I love Margaret Curtin. She's a sweetheart and everything. But the board has been really good in the last couple of years. I know they're working hard, and I happen to know quite a bit about the education system, and the state is doing. The state has got a program there's a national program, so it's really hard to deal with what's going on from from a local level with the national situation, because they got the money that when you hold the money bags, it's tough, and these folks have been working real hard. So I'm not talking about our board. I'm glad we caught that though before something happened. It was the ethics about. He is doctor now. He is Dr. Carter now. He's got his PhD. Okay, and like I said, I had read his transcript from Lexington and everything else, and he has been a PhD candidate for some time. And I mean, you could be a candidate for the rest of your life and not, because I know, because I'm, like I say, I believe it or not, Father is. In two things, I'm a candidate because I'm a lifelong student, and that's
It is a public relations gaffe.
yeah, it's really bad.
Leave that aside for a moment. I assume that the board is fully vetting him in terms of his actual record in a job.
Well, I would suppose. I mean, that's the key. When you go down, okay, so
and references and
references and everything. I mean, if you go for that type of job, it's not okay. It's not like, well, obviously, I could go for a job as an organizer and stuff like that. You would have to look at the work that I've done on how I do community organizing, the programs I put together, blah, blah, blah. So you're looking at programs and what's in place and has been in place and how's that put. However, when you're talking about teacher or running a school, you have a different set of values. You have your school transcripts that comes through with all the courses you've taken, all the hours you take and everything else like that. I mean, that's nothing. You spend $25 or $75 for that. So your master's, like you want my master's program, anybody can get my master's from Goddard. You say, so I don't know what, I think it's $50. You call them up and say, I want to see Carmichael's master's program, and I want his transcript. I believe it's public, because I know somebody didn't believe I had one and went and did that, and they sent them, and then they said, I guess I should have told them to send it, and they sent it without my saying they could send it, but who cares? You spend the money, I don't care. You don't look at my records. My record's public anyway, so I didn't, I wasn't that upset.
I don't know
But-
what the current state is,
way-
whether he's being
I think
whether he's been shortlisted or whether
I think now he's got to. He was going to be hired. Okay.
He'd actually gone through the whole.
Oh, he's gone through the whole process, and they caught it. Now, but the paper caught it. See, that's what bothers me. The newspaper caught it. Okay, and of course I guess the state has. I think the state has asked him to resign. And my question is, when you're at this level, okay, when you're at the superintendent level, and the money comes from the state, why didn't the state do the vetting? Okay, they did not vet, and that's the thing that bothers me more than anything. Not so much our local people, the state people that got me. Two big things that, and the other thing, well, my problem with New London, okay, so how we get these clowns. The other big thing for me, for anybody out there, was the Lighthouse Inn. I mean, I went out of my mind. I mean, you spent $70,000 to revamp this place, and then you're supposed to have a minimum of $500,000 for the place, which I thought was outrageous anyways, and you got this guy in there who puts a $100,000 bid in. I mean, Akari, and did they check him out? No. Now, if you had read Street Talk, if you followed Street Talk, you found out I was 6 weeks ahead of everybody else. I knew he was a crook. I knew his father was from Texas. I put out, I mean, it didn't take me long to just research him. Of course, we're pretty good at that, but research him and find out he already had problems with the federal government for doing phony stuff on a security system, and they basically said he was a criminal, and they barred him from the Better Business Loan Bureau, shut him off. Now, I knew all about this 6 weeks before and I put it on Street Talk. And I'm saying, and this mayor, this clown of a mayor, was thinking of accepting this bid. I mean, I go, what is, am I in Never Never Land or what? You know, people get mad at me out there and stuff like that. And some people don't want to come on my show because I asked them questions, but we're taxpayers.
Oh, the other aspect of this is that, as I understand it, the original offer was 500,000.
500, yeah.
As a minimum.
Was a minimum.
And then out of the blue, he's accepted 100 grand. Now,
Well,
there's any number of people,
Right.
you know, and I can name at least two.
Me too.
If that was the
case,
deal,
they would
have been
they
in
would have
there.
been in there.
101 grand. you know.
No kidding.
They would have been edging it
Oh,
up, you know.
I know. Yeah, I know. My cousin, I would have called him up. I
you
would
know,
have
you're
bid on it.
thinking, well, if some, you know,
Gotta
is
be
this
kidding me.
is this kind of, you know, a deal?
Yeah, what kind of deal is it? Well, his background kind of hints at what I think.
You either say, well, this is a backdoor deal,
Yeah, exactly right.
or you say, this is outrageous incompetence.
You know, I look at it as a straw man. I mean, if you've been in the stuff I was in my younger years, I mean, this looks like somebody went out and got the guy, and you were doing a back end deal, getting a straw guy in, and you're going to make a ton of money once that's up and running. You make a nice job. I mean, you got to be kidding me. You steal that place for 100 grand? I mean, from an organized crime point of view.
And
What a score!
I don't know whether
It's better than robbing a bank or hitting an armored car.
I mean, I don't know whether this deal is 100 grand and he's not going to pay the back taxes, or the back taxes with 100 grand.
Even it didn't. No, this was it. This was the sale. Boom. That was going for 100 grand. Well, it's not going now. I better shut up. Oh, here we go. We're lighting up tonight. Good evening. You're on Street Talk with Father Russ and Mike.
Good evening, you're on Street Talk with Father Russ and Mike.
Hi, Father.
Hey, how are you?
Long time, no, I haven't seen in a while.
Oh, you gotta back up from your TV or lower it.
You gotta back up from your TV and lower it.
Okay.
Go ahead. Gotta
Switch the TV off.
shut it off, Ray. Ray, that's you, right?
Yes.
Ray, you gotta turn that
I'll
TV
turn it
down.
down.
Okay. Way down.
How's that?
How are you?
Good. How you been?
I'm good. I'm real good. Are you doing okay?
Yeah. How's your friend Bob doing?
Oh, he's doing pretty good. Yeah,
What's he doing now?
he lost a ton of weight. He's, you know, he's going up. He was a little sick. He's going to Yale, but he's doing okay.
Who's your guest tonight, Father?
Michael Linnard. Haven't you seen Mike before?
Hi, Mike.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi, Mike.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you? I'm a friend of Paul Lynch's. I'm one of his friends.
Yes, you are. We've known each other a long time. Yeah, I know it.
So how you been?
I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. Busy, you
I
know.
haven't talked to you in a while.
I know it. Well, you were sick for a while, right?
Huh?
You were sick for a while, weren't you?
Yeah. Well, I had open heart surgery.
Yeah, right. And I know.
I was in Yale, New Haven.
Yeah, you. My favorite place. That's where I go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how you been?
Good. And then we were off
Hey, favor.
we were off the air for a while.
Hey, if you see Bob, right?
Yeah.
How about asking for him?
I certainly will, Ray. Bless
I'm
you.
glad to talk to you again. sir.
Good to, and I'm glad you're watching me, okay?
All right, good night.
Good night, bless you. Our prayers are with you, Ray, okay? And we've known Ray a long time. He's follow us for, what, 11 years, like, right? Bless you, Ray. And he knows all the crews and all that stuff. Ray's cool. But anyways, back to Akari. I mean, and then you do his background was nothing. Anybody with a computer could have Googled him and found out who his father was and his father and him and traced the problems he had in Alaska and the problems he had with the federal government and his sentencing thing under that and barred from federal bidding. I mean, so now you're gonna let this guy. I mean, they wouldn't give me. Years ago, I wanted the theater downtown. Okay, I tried to get the theater downtown years ago. I tried to get. They said it was my character, and then they gave it to another guy for $1. I mean, and then they were criminals, and they themselves, and they shafted the city, you know. I was going to do some stuff, and I had my cousin from Boston was going to come in and do a program in there and see if we could have put a basketball AAU kind of thing in there. That's what we were looking to do way back when. And then my cousin says, "You don't want to deal with New London. Forget it." you know. So
I don't know what the situation is.
this
Whether
is a crazy place.
whether this is still on the table or
Yeah, that I thought no, I think the council I believe said nixed it because you have to then pass it through the council,
Well, I can
and our
imagine-
council ain't gonna. I
mean,
they got to be crazy to do
I
something
mean,
like that.
Mike Passarone probably would, you know.
Oh no, none of them.
don't
None of them.
even- don't even think about
it. I mean, I can't wait for this guy to get out of here so fast and everything else like that. I can't wait for the election. I really believe, and obviously, Father totally loves and supports Michael Passaro. I think he's one of the great leaders that you got here. Okay, and if you folks don't put him in office, God bless him, if he runs, I hope he runs. You know, you got to be crazy to even run, but you know, he's absolutely a great guy, honest, straight, great representation. The other thing is very, very important. Bill Sadai for Senate. Now, I like Betsy Ritter. Okay, Democratic people out there, my union people, everything else like that. I love Betsy. I've worked with Betsy and everything else. She's a really nice lady. However, Betsy is not a Bill Sadai. We need Bill Sadai at the State House level. Okay, he's a pit bull. He knows the stuff that goes on. I had him on the show. I gave him some tough questions. Everybody that saw that show that really knows. I mean, I didn't let him get by on nothing. We pushed him. I had Don Cotton with us here. I mean, this is the guy. Every Democrat needs to get out and make sure that he wins the primary. You'd be a big mistake if you don't get out and vote. The primary to get Bill in is essential. It puts New London in the seat it belongs in, okay? Because we are the city in this area. We have all the programs here. We are always under the gun. So, you know, we need strong representation that comes out of New London. Okay, and that's what should happen. And that should happen. And the only way it's going to happen is every one of our Democrats here need to